Hello everyone and welcome to the Sports Bandits.
The sound of the imaginary vuvuzelas must mean it's our 10th episode.
Woo!
Well, even though it's our 10th episode, we're still going to pick some games, we're still going to talk about them, and so we're going to get started with Michigan State at Iowa, Big Ten battle. Michigan State's undefeated and highest ranking in the BCS that they've ever had. So, Brian, what do you think?
Well, in this game, Iowa lost at home last week to Wisconsin, and I don't look for them to make the same mistake twice. To stop the Spartans, you're going to have to get a good push off the defensive line. Iowa's defense has been stellar this year, and I think if they can get a good push from their defensive line, they can stop the running game and get some pressure on Kirk Cousins. And if they can do that, they can slow down Sparty's offense and be able to end their perfect season.
Well, last week, Michigan State had a little bit of a scare against Northwestern. It forced Kirk Cousins to have his highest pass attempts, completions, and yardage of the season. And for Iowa, they've had two losses. Both of them, they've given up pretty good performances to quarterbacks. And so that's why I think you have to look to Kirk Cousins of Michigan State to have a real big game in order for Michigan State to pull this one off and stay undefeated.
Next game's a Big 12 matchup. It's Baylor traveling to Texas. Austin, how do you see this? How do you think Baylor can be able to pull off a win and give Texas their third straight loss at home?
Well, I think Baylor is just, it's their time to finally beat Texas. They've been close before. They've been okay before. But now I think they have a legitimate chance. Texas is completely rattled after losing home games to USC and to Iowa State. Robert Griffin, actually, Baylor has the 5th ranked passing attack in the nation. I had no idea. But even though he runs the ball effectively, he's able to pass the ball with efficiency as well. And I think that's going to be important for Baylor. On the other side of the ball, Garrett Gilbert has been less than impressive this season. 6 touchdowns against 8 interceptions. If the Baylor defense can get to him early and can get the Texas crowd out of it, they're just going to start feeling like it's a repeat of UCLA or Iowa State, and it'll be a long day for Texas.
In this game, I think that Baylor in every way statistically has been better than Texas this year. Running the ball, passing the ball, total offense, points scored. The only thing that Baylor is less than Texas in is opponents they've played. Baylor really hasn't played a tough schedule this far, and so I think this will be a really good test for them to see if they're for real. I think that playing at home, Texas has lost 2 straight at home to Iowa State and UCLA. I don't look for them to make the same mistake again here. I think their defense can slow down Robert Griffin, and by doing that, you can pretty much stop the Bears, as we saw Tech do in the Cotton Bowl a few weeks ago. So I really think Texas can really kind of slow him down and keep him contained, and that will just shut down Baylor's offense.
In another Big 12 matchup, the Missouri Tigers travel to Nebraska to take on the Cornhuskers, who are coming off a bounce-back win against Oklahoma State last week. Brian, what do you think is going to happen?
Well, if Nebraska hadn't lost to Texas a couple weeks ago, we probably wouldn't even be having a big conversation about this. Nebraska would be the clear favorite. I think that since they did, they turned it around last week. They played well on the road at Oklahoma State, and Missouri played well at home. They had a lot of help from Oklahoma. Oklahoma did not play a very good game, very clean game. They had a lot of mistakes that helped Missouri get to the win. I look for Nebraska in this game to come out. They're playing at home. I look for them to not make the mistakes Oklahoma did and have very little trouble stopping Blaine Gabbert and the passing offense of Missouri.
Well, a big thing for Texas back when they beat Nebraska is they rattled Taylor Martinez and even got him pulled from the game. He was just doing that terribly. For Missouri, I think that's the same key. You have to get after the freshman. You have to rattle him, and if they pull him again, that's just more benefit to you. If they don't, this is going to become a shootout, and I don't think that's somewhere Missouri wants to be with Taylor Martinez.
Our last game is a big matchup in the Pac-10 this week. It's undefeated Oregon traveling to USC in the Coliseum. Austin, how do you think Oregon can win this game?
Well, for Oregon, obviously, it relies on their offense and LaMichael James. He's one of the best rushers in the country. He's a Heisman candidate, and I think he's going to have to put up some big yardage, especially early, to get this USC crowd out of it, who is going to be looking for an upset win. They really have nothing to play for, and they're going to probably be playing loosely and just trying to do whatever they can to win this game.
Well, I think for USC, they're playing in the Coliseum, which should help them try to slow down LaMichael James and Darren Thomas, and Oregon's very prolific and balanced offense. But I think the key for this game is Matt Barkley to play a great game, to man up and have a big game for USC and hope that their offense can keep pace with Oregon's offense in this game. And I think if Matt Barkley can have a great game, then USC will stay in this game to the end.
Going on to make our picks this week, we go back to the Michigan State versus Iowa game. I think Michigan State is going to play well. I think they're going to be able to win a tough road game and stay undefeated, winning 28-21.
I think that Iowa playing at home, they lost last week. I don't look for them to make the same mistake twice. Michigan State's just going to run out of gas here. I think they'll end their perfect season. I will take this game. Next game, Baylor traveling to Texas. Austin, who do you see winning this game?
I like the Bears in this one. I like Griffin. I like their offense. I think Texas is having a down year, and I think this is Baylor's chance to jump on it. I think they'll win 38-31.
Well, I don't actually like the Longhorns, but I do in this game. I think that they'll be able to stop Robert Griffin and be able to hold Baylor's offense down, and they'll have no problem taking this game at home.
Going on to our next game, Nebraska hosts Missouri. Brian, what do you think?
Nebraska all the way in this one. They messed up last time at home. They won't do it again. Missouri came off that big emotional win over Oklahoma last week, and Nebraska got back on track on the road. I look for Nebraska to take this game easily.
I also think Nebraska will win this. I think that Taylor Martinez is going to have a solid game, and I think they'll win this game by 10.
Last game, moving on, is Oregon traveling to USC. Austin, who do you see winning this game?
This was the toughest one for me to figure out because Oregon is a good team, but USC has a lot of talent, even though they seem to have underperformed, considering they're not in a bowl game this year. But in the end, I think USC is going to find a way to beat Oregon, and I think they're going to have a real big win for their home fans, and what basically will be their bowl game because this is going to be their biggest test of the season. I think they'll win 45-41.
Well, this is a huge game for both these schools. USC looking to kind of stay alive in the Pac-10 recruiting race. I mean, they'll get some good recruits, but they've had a bad season here. In Oregon, looking to continue on their perfect season. I look for USC to play very tough in this game, and Oregon to match up with them, and their offense just to take over the game. But in the end, I think that USC is going to end up making this game close at the end. And playing at home, I see them potentially taking it, and I'm going to call USC on this one. Barely.
You went back and forth about 3 times.
I know. That's how my week's been.
I don't know what his picks are.
That's how my week's been picking that game. It's
Yeah.
been back and forth about 6 times.
Well, we'll see.
All right, well, it being our 10th episode, it is time to draw another name out of our wonderful bucket of fun. This person we will contact, and they will get a chance to make a guest appearance on our show. Now, this week we're going to draw a winner and a runner-up in case the winner cannot come. The runner-up will take their spot. We'll let Austin pick. Oh, the drama.
Dun, 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 dun.
And the winner?
Stephen Watson.
Stephen Watson has won this week. Now we're going to draw our runner-up real quick to see who will take his spot if he can't come.
Just in case you don't believe me.
Yes.
There you go. Is this 1 or 2? There's 1. Okay, it's 1. And the runner-up is Carrie Clement.
Our runner-up is Carrie. So we will contact both of them, see if Stephen can come, if not Carrie. Thank you all for watching. We invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel and find us on Facebook. It's the Sports Bandits, and you can like our page. We would greatly appreciate that.
Yep.
So please look us up, and thank you. And it's the 10th episode. Yay!
Toodles.